as I said, I was in college. I dropped out. I started to travel. I traveled north from New York into Canada, all the way west to Banff, Alberta. I was hitchhiking down into the States. Through all that, I was playing music essentially and starting to do a little bit of art. I was working as a waiter in a jazz club. I was delivering Interview magazine. Then I started to do some heating work. I was sort of a low-level sort of steam fitter, a steam fitter's helper. And I had a studio, a small basement studio in the West Village where every day after work I would go there pretty religiously. I was playing ball up in Central Park. I was standing on first base, and the person who was playing first base started conversation and said, "Hey, what do you do?" And I said, "I'm an artist." And I said, "How about you?" And he said, "Well, I'm a painter too." And he invited me to his studio, and he was kind of much further along than I was, and things sort of started that way, to be truthful. I dropped my slides off. In those days, it was slides to a few places, but not with any kind of real effort or desire. So I sort of backdoored into showing and things through another artist, which I think still is the way that it happens for many people today. I've been teaching. I am teaching like the, you know, quite frequently. You know, it's been a part of my life since the mid '80s. I feel like I overteach, but I don't know. I'm good with it. I could certainly leave jobs. I've stayed with the jobs that I've gotten. But of course, there's days, it's like performing. Anyone who teaches knows that. There's days that something's going on in my life. I don't want to go in, and I got to just sort of, go do it, and it works out fine. The selling of work has been up, down, and in the middle over the years. So there's years where there's no question I need my teaching jobs to make a living. As an artist, I'm more private and sort of hide out a lot, even though I know what kind of people. But my human interaction, a lot of it actually happens at schools with students and conversations about all sorts of things. What are you up to? What else are you taking? Get to know some of them. Obviously, many of them become sort of colleagues after they graduate, particularly former grad students. So it's a nice, rich area of my life. So I've never thought of it as getting in the way of working. I have ambition. I mean, it's a bit complicated for me. I do have a lot of what I wanted. I have a history that I'm proud of. Although it's flawed, of course, like all of them. I don't feel like I need to get written into the history books in any way of any significance. That somehow doesn't seem important to me. I do feel like I'm somewhat known, in terms of people who came up around my time, or there's some energy around the work again. That's satisfying. I do want that. It's fulfilling. But in terms of getting out there and getting on the internet or getting on the phone and remembering names and trying to figure out how to get from point A to point F, by stringing along relationships that I hope are going to lead me there. That's not really my way. I guess in a certain way I don't have a huge amount of career ambition, but yet I have a career, and I would like it to expand. So that might sound contradictory, but I'm driven by the excitement that happens around driving to work, and the adventure of it. To me, that's where it's at. It's always been where it's at, So again, fortunately, certain things happen, and I have some relationships, but I don't know about all this. I know it's a controversial thing, but I don't know about all these, I think there's certain intangibles that really make things happen, and no matter how studious and earnest people are about doing everything that helps a career, it just may not work, I mean, but we do need enough money, enough I guess ego strokes. We do want to feel like we matter, and that's serious stuff, I think, for people, certainly for artists. The ones that are the most powerful and inspiring to me are the ones that I think are the bravest, and the ones that seem to push push beyond. You know, I may not even like their work, but I like the force of it. I like the force of an individual, you know, really driving their mind and their body, and have the ability to go through changes, and you know, not just lip service to taking chances, but they actually do it. You know, it actually means that much to them to try to really get in there and constantly, you know, raise the volume of what it is they need to do and say. You know, and that to me is the most inspiring. If people just make progress with what I would term self-acceptance, you know, they get more and more powerful, you know. And I think the way it works is if we get more and more powerful, things get attracted to it. You know, things are drawn to it. So as a simple recipe, I guess the best I could do is try to become more Glenn. You know, whatever Glenn is designed to do and behave, you know, and think about. I just need to really do that as much as is naturally possible. So to me, that's the first priority. You know, be you, as they say, do you, be you to the fullest degree possible, which takes a lot of courage, I think. And then I think people will be, I don't know, drawn to whatever that is, even if it's kind of brutal and brash. I think it's powerful, you know.